Hello, my name is Kent Philpott. I'm the pastor of Miller Avenue Baptist Church in Mill Valley, California. Here my 36th year, 50 years altogether in doing ministry. I was part of the Jesus People movement in San Francisco, beginning in February of 1967. Reason I'm doing this video, and this is just the beginning of a series, because of an article in Christianity Today, the recent edition, called The Protestant Exorcist by Griffin Paul Jackson. And he did an excellent job of this. And I wanted to express how glad I am to see this emphasis because it is extremely needed in our own day and time. We're having a renewal, a revival of interest in the occult arts, particularly based shamanistic sorts of rituals and rites and understandings. How many people now are running around with animal spirits and spirit guides, happy about it, bragging about it, and being led all over the place in all kinds of new and exciting things, or so they say. And so we find this flowering of an interest in occult arts, again, shamanistic based sort of things that touches all sorts of things having to do with health, exercise, mindfulness, on and on and it goes. And in Marin County, it's probably about as big here as any place else. So I want to start a series of little blogs. I guess they call them vlogs. And I want to give a little bit of a credential. I have a background in psychology. I was going to be a school psychologist when I became a follower of Jesus in 1963. Well, I was a medic in the military. And at the time, I did not believe there was a Satan or demons because I was more sophisticated than that. And I thought, well, those people just didn't realize in the biblical times that they were dealing with various forms of mental illness, etc. So when I was attending Golden Gate Baptist Theological Seminary, I kind of smirked at the professors who believed that there was really a Satan and really demons. It took me a long time to realize that I was wrong, and it was slow in coming, I'll tell you, but it eventually did. And part of it took place in the early 70s when I was doing a THM after my MDiv. The thesis was a manual of demonology and the occult. I really went into it, a lengthy 3-year study to prepare that thesis. Zondervan Publishing House presented it in 1973, I believe. It sold for many a year and went into other translations. Subsequently, I wrote another book later in the mid-70s called The Deliverance Book. And more recently, this book, Deliver Us from Evil, How Jesus Cast Out Demons Today, and you can find it at Amazon.com. I wrote it as simply as possible for other people. So those are some of my credentials, but the biggest one is the fact that over the course of the years, particularly during the late 60s and all through the 70s, and even including now, have been through many hundreds of events of casting out of demons. I don't like to use the word exorcist. That was a term that came into the church in about the early part of the 3rd century, but it was, the Greek would be ekballein, to cast out, out, and we get our word ball from ballein, ball from that word, and that's the word we find in the Greek Bible, our New Testament, ekballo, to cast out. We call it deliverance ministry. And because of my books, I spent a long time working with the San Francisco Archdiocese exorcist, an elderly Catholic priest. And he called me in on the tough cases. And we had some real events, I'll tell you. And it still goes on. And I consider that we're going to see more and more of it. And so I'd like to begin these blogs with this program, and about once a week or more often, I'm going to be putting up a new edition. All right. Thank you for listening. So long.